Hey, everybody. Welcome in the studio. I am your host, Vera Jones, and this is Certified Unscripted. I can't even stop smiling. I'm giddy. We just got word that we've got a very, very special guest. Well, we didn't just get word, but it feels like we just got word like a few hours ago. Very, very special guest is going to be on with us tonight, and I can't wait to get to that. Before we even start talking, we have to thank you. Talk All Over is about this show, Certified Unscripted. We continue to want you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to check us out. If you have a heart for women's hoops, or if you just love sports in general, this is the show you want to catch over and over again. We bring you a power panel every single week, and it always begins with the GM, Penny Toler. Penny. I sent you something about another Penny that was, now I can't even remember the name, but I'm going to have to research that. But you are not the original Penny. I did not realize that. There's another Penny that is actually getting enshrined in the Hall of Fame. But anyway, Penny, welcome back. For those of you.
And I am the original Penny.
You're the original Penny in LA, right? All right. So
on Certified Unscripted.
You are the only Penny on Certified Unscripted. Don't get it twisted. Absolutely. So for those of you, I can't imagine who's new, but if you are new, obviously Penny Toler is a longtime legend with the Los Angeles Sparks, general manager and player, coach, all of it. She's done it all, and she's here with us on Certified Unscripted, and she's going to break down for us. Let me see if I can pull up our. Let's pull up real quick. We always got to, because we're in this playoff hunt now. It's getting crazy. Let me see if I can share this and make it nice and big. Can I make this big? Can you see that?
It doesn't matter. I know about heart, because this is okay. The WNBA race is so tight and so close that this week is the biggest week of the season for the top and for the bottom. You know, The biggest thing that's happening right now is, oh my God, Seattle. I feel for them with Brianna Stewart out. The Sparks just drug them. Beat them by a lot to help the Sparks cause to try to get into the playoffs. It's a lot. God knows it's a lot when you lose a player of her caliber.
Yeah.
Brianna Stewart late in the season. And they were fighting, Seattle was in first and second, third. Now they're in fourth.
Now they're in fourth.
To hold on to this fourth spot. And if they can hold on to it, they could probably buy Brianna some more time to get back. But I'm going to tell you something. Phoenix was playing basketball so well. I think Phoenix done won 8 in a row. It's right here on the screen. It's a little small. I can't see it, but.
All right. Yeah. Phoenix is, let's see their streak. Actually, they lost one. Hold on. Yep. They lost one. So they went 9-1 over the last 10. 9-1 over the last 10.
Right. But if Seattle cannot win their last game, which is against Phoenix, and Phoenix wins their 2 last games, Phoenix would take a 4th position. That's just how close it is. In my mind, Vegas would have to have a total collapse. So personally, I feel that Connecticut and Vegas are going to lock up number 1 and number 2. I don't see Minnesota dropping. Minnesota's going to finish number 3. It's a matter of if Seattle's going to finish 4 or if Phoenix is going to finish 4. Now, at the bottom, people saying, oh, it's New York, it's Washington, it's the Sparks. I'm going to tell you right now, all the New York people out there are going to hate me. I don't see them getting in. I told you have to do something to help yourself get in. They got 1 game left, and that game is against Washington. But to show you how huge it is, all Washington has to do is win on Friday, and everybody else is eliminated.
Wow.
They have the tiebreaker versus New York. They have the tiebreaker versus LA. So even if LA were to win out, which LA I'm sure is hoping that Washington lose on Friday, that still keeps their hopes alive. But then Washington got a second chance. Washington got 2 chances to put everybody out. They can put everybody out on Friday by beating New York in New York. If they don't win there, when they go home and play Minnesota their last game, if they win that game, everybody else is eliminated. That's just how big this week is. So It's been exciting all year. If you want to see the excitement, and unfortunately, come Friday, it's going to be a lot of tears. or if not tears, seasons, how Kenny Smith and all them used to say, go fishing. There's a lot of teams going, Indiana and Atlanta already know they're going fishing. But Washington and New York and LA, everything depends on what Washington is doing. And I told you, a veteran team. Look how Washington looked just with Tina Charles back in the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Tina Charles,
Chicago
24
Chicago.
Yeah, her 24 points a game leading the league. And she's been pretty consistent pretty much all year. So you got to love Tina Charles and what she brings. But here's a good question. Johnny Hoops page actually puts out there. Jonquel Jones, we've been talking about teams. We haven't really been talking about players too much. We've got this whole GOAT thing going on. You can vote for the GOAT, by the way. If you go to WNBA.com, you can vote for the GOAT right up until September 19th. If you're into that kind of thing. You know, Spoon isn't here tonight because she always goes, you can't pick one player. You can't. And we already are disgusted that half of the GOAT lineup, right, is missing some of the greatest of all time players like Dawn Staley and a bunch of others. So anyway, Jonquel Jones, though, you know, if there's a Jones in the mix, I want to know about it. Is my cousin the best player in the WNBA and MVP frontrunner right now?
Well, I'll say this. Jonquel Jones is most definitely the MVP. Kurt Miller is definitely the coach of the year. And not because they're number one, but yeah, it is some because they're number one. Jonquel Jones is 1 and 2 in both scoring, points, rebound. Her statistics even make her an MVP. You know, everybody was talking about Vegas and Seattle. If you remember back when we first started, I said, hey, you guys better watch out because Connecticut, you know, now that they have Jonquel Jones back with Dewana Bonner, you know, Jasmine Thomas, all those guys, they're legit. And they've been knocking on the door for a while. And to be honest with you, they've been playing the most consistent all year. But I agree with the person who just put the question up. Jonquel Jones is definitely the MVP of the league.
Okay. All I care is that there's a Jones in there somewhere. It don't really matter. Brianna, Jonquel, doesn't matter as long as there's a Jones in there.
And that's why I say Kurt Miller is coach of the year because people forget when you're winning and you're number one, they be like, oh, you're supposed to do this. Who would have thought that Connecticut would be number one?
Well, you're right.
Thomas out the lineup. Well, Alyssa Thomas last year was what? About 33% of the offense.
Right.
Or, you know, she makes it happen at both ends and she's been hurt all year. But look at the emergence of Brianna Jones this year. Brianna Jones with Dewana Bonner, Jasmine Thomas, and Jonquel Jones. I mean, Connecticut is on fire, and they've been the most consistent. And what they're on, a 9-10 game winning streak right now? This is the type of momentum you want to have going into the playoffs.
Well, the last thought on this, just going in, I mean, we're wrapping up the season, and we're getting ready to go into the playoffs. You're really, really high on Connecticut. Is that your team to beat? Is that your team to win it all, to take it all? Because things change once you get into tournament time.
Oh, yeah, things change. And then, you know, you play so hard to finish number one and number two, and you just hope that the momentum that they got winning will carry over while they're sitting out. Now, they're going to be sitting for about a week and a half before they even come into play, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the teams before them. So if they can continue their streak, as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at a Connecticut-Las Vegas final.
All right. Sounds good.
And then at that point, you know, I got to go with my girl Chelsea Gray.
You know what? I'm sitting here and I'm looking at, it was so funny. There's a lot of love for Chelsea Gray. I think you and Johnny Hoops got something going on behind the scenes. I'm telling you, y'all like the same players, right? Y'all like the same players. All right. A lot going on. I want to make sure that I remember to tell you, if for whatever reason you've missed an episode, we've had some great guests on. We've actually had some great battles and some conversation about so many things on Certified Unscripted. I've lost count of where we are. I don't even know what show this is. You can always visit our CertifiedUnscripted.com website where you can play catch up on that. You can also find it on my fan page on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So we want to invite you to do that in case you missed it. Now, what's most important is that you're here tonight because I don't do the groupie thing. There's about 2 people in life, and it would have, well, one of them isn't even in life anymore. It would have been Muhammad Ali and Oprah that are ever going to make me do the groupie thing, except for tonight. Tonight, I did the groupie thing. She came on, and I was like, like I'm stupid, right? I didn't know what to say. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5-time Olympian, 84, 88, 92, 96, and 2000. 4 gold medal, Naismith Hall of Fame, Olympic Hall of Fame, 7 Hall of Fames total. You name it, she's in it. If she's not, put her in it. You would be credible. She was the youngest Olympic women's basketball player at the age of 20. And back in 1984, I was just graduating high school. And that's where my groupie stage, because where I started learning about our special guests, right? And I became a groupie. And that was at the Summer Games in LA. I remember watching that. She's played in Italy, France, Spain, Japan. She was the highlight of the ABL, averaging 20 points and 6 assists with the Atlanta Glory. She's from Cairo, Georgia, or a Cairo, Georgia native. Probably the biggest bragging rights the University of Georgia has as a legend there. I don't know how much more I can say without taking up the entire show. Why don't we just welcome her in? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Teresa Edwards.
you got me with the groupie thing now, Vera. You got me with that one. Oh, man. Come on. That didn't happen, everybody. That did not happen. What's up, Penny?
Nothing, girl. You know, I'm happy to see you myself. When I came home, I'm like, look at T. Last time I saw you, you were walking me down at the Olympic trials. Remember? You probably don't even remember that.
I do not remember that. Don't make up stories I can't remember.
I get it. But it's always great, T, to see you. And this is so exciting. All our fans, I mean, everybody, every week. When y'all gonna have Teresa on? When y'all gonna have Teresa on? What, everybody out there that's on today, we deliver. And
I'm curious to know, what do they want to know? What's up, people?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Before they start, can I get one in? Because the way that these questions come from, we've got some awesome fans, both on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Before they start, I want to just start with this. Take us back to just how you got started, and then somehow graduate us to where you are now. Because that's the biggest question we get. It's like, well, what's she doing now? Anybody know what she's doing now? But I'd like to hear about your start. How'd you get started as the sensational basketball player that you have become?
It stems all the way, I mean, just like everybody else, it stems all the way back to childhood in Cairo, Georgia. Cairo. Don't take it out on her. But it stems all the way back to Cairo, Georgia, just playing ball with all the guys down there. And, you know, I'm the only girl of 5 children from my mother. And, you know, that's all I did. I was the oldest. I am the oldest. And so just playing ball there, getting recognized, getting an opportunity to play on USA basketball. Remember when it was ABA USA?
Yeah.
Amateur basketball. So, you know, playing in the sports festivals and things of that nature, and having people come to Cairo, Georgia, looking for Teresa Edwards. And everybody, my nickname was One Bone or Bone. And so every time a coach came to my hometown, they'd ask for Teresa. Nobody knew my name in my hometown, except for my family. That was crazy. So, I mean, just there on to the University of Georgia, and it's, you know, the rest is history, kind of, sort of. Having an opportunity to try out for the 84 Olympic team, being the youngest one on that team. Just a competitor. Played against Penny, one of my biggest games in college against Long Beach there. I had to go way out west just to make it to the Final Four. I remember that like it was yesterday, girl.
Wow.
I know. Wow. It's crazy how when you, no, it's definitely you. When I look at Spoon, Ruthie, all of us, the history, you know?
Crazy. Yeah.
And it's like, when we in it, we don't even realize that, like, now we sitting out of it and, you know, we older.
Right.
And what great memories, you know what I'm saying? What great memories.
I mean, just a lot of great players, man. I remember Joyce Walker's, you remember LaTanya Pollard?
Come on now. Come on now.
I was going to break down bad if you didn't remember her.
Yeah, come on. And I tell people all the time, LaTanya, as good as all the players that came out of Long Beach, LaTanya had the most accolades and probably was the most dangerous. LaTanya Pollard, for the people out there that don't know, LaTanya, and hopefully people in Long Beach do know, she won the Wade, the best player in college basketball. She won the Wade Trophy. You know, there was Cindy Brown, myself. You remember Jackie White went on to be the second Harlem Globetrotter.
Yep.
We had some good players, but could you imagine if you had 3-point line when LaTanya played?
Right? What?
Yeah, she probably would have averaged 40. And see, this is the history that a lot of people won't have.
See, that's why I narrate. That's why they don't like to do the GOAT talk, because they don't even know what it's like to average those kind of points without a 3-point line. You know, it's
right.
You know, it's all kind of stuff. Right.
Well, we've got one of the, I was supposed to ask you, what are you doing now, if you share, because everybody wants to know, well, where is she? What is she doing now?
I spent many years doing my own thing with my own LLC, doing, speaking and traveling and camps and clinics and things of that nature. I finally settled down, started writing, been writing for years, definitely, and unleashed the Audible Black Gold this year. And then outside of writing, though, I'm teaching. Finally used that degree that I earned at the University of Georgia. Recreation here in New York at the Trinity School. Very great, very, very good school here. Teaching and coaching, everything, volleyball, basketball.
Volleyball too.
All right. That's awesome. So of all your amazing moments, which was the most life-changing? This from Trisha.
Of all my many amazing moments, which was my most life-changing? There's a lot of moments. I mean, I do a great job of living in the moment and really kind of thriving for the next one. I mean, I think it comes naturally as an athlete. Once you come down off the podium, you want to get back up there really fast. Once you hold the trophy up, you got to work to get back up there, next season to get back to the playoffs, get back in that championship game. So there's so many great moments that come. And so mine are actually off the court. Mine is coming from that little small town in Cairo, Georgia, living in that little box bedroom house with about 17 to 20 people at one time, to realizing the fact that I wanted to purchase my mother a house. So that was life-changing. The power that basketball gave me to make money and to make a living off of it at a young age. Back in the 80s, that was unheard of. I mean, we didn't make that much. But to save and to be able to buy my mother her home, I think that was life-changing for me. It taught me so much. Taught me so much about becoming a young lady in the world off the basketball court as well.
How was it playing for Coachlanders? Was he demanding? What coach isn't demanding, right?
Exactly, right? Coachlanders, he's a conundrum because on the outside, he looks like he has this really, really, I don't know, edge that, he cracks the whip. But honestly, he was there for everything. I mean, the man would help you with your books. He made sure we had everything we needed. And in practice and games as a coach, he probably taught me, he elevated my game to so many levels because I didn't go to college thinking I knew everything, but I went knowing I had something. So to be able to just blend talent and make talent come together and fight for one common goal is not easy. So Coachlanders with these young knuckleheads that we were, and he was young at the same time. Now I realize that he was just as young. I thought that his commitment to the game, his passion kind of rolled over into us because he was such a great teacher. He could really show us how we needed each other every day in practice. Then he could also show you the impact of just acquiring more skills and adding on to what you already have. He was very, very good at making you understand that A, B, and C will get you to D and so on. So for me, he's a phenomenal coach. Without him, I don't think I would have had the same that same pathway.
Has coaching changed in your opinion over the years? Do you think that, all of us are kind of from the same era? There was that old school, you mentioned the comment, crack the whip. And now we have this whole back in the day, right, that we didn't have all this transfer portal and all of these different players jumping from place to place to place because they were unhappy. You just were miserable and unhappy, and you sucked it up and you became a very, very good basketball player from it. But that's just one perspective. Your thoughts on just how, is it the coaching that has changed? Has the times changed? Have the kids changed? What's changed?
Everything has changed, but in terms that forced coaches to change. The game of recruiting changed. The way kids are being told they're great. First of all, I've had a hard time even imagining myself as like an assistant college coach because I can't recruit, because I can't lie to you. I can't tell you you're good when you're not. I can't tell you you're going to be great. That's one thing Coach Sanders said to me. He was like, hey, Edwards, you come to Georgia, I can't promise you're going to start. But if you do, you put the work in, you're going to play, right? So that was honesty to me. I can dig that. I can work with that. But this generation, man, they want to be told so much that you're like, I don't see that. Forget all that potential thing. You got to put the work in. And if you don't know you deserve it, why am I telling you that? If you don't know you can do it, why do I have to tell you that? Come show the world what you got. Bring it. We had to bring it. Nobody told us those kind of things, growing up. So, no, I think everything has changed. I think the dynamics of it has made the kids quite, I guess, dependent upon it. very dependent upon people building them and keeping them built. And I do think that's why we have this, I guess, mental weaknesses or mental strength, and you choose your lane. But the breakdowns that we're seeing, it's not really a breakdown. It's just that your foundation hasn't been solid enough to understand that if I put the work in, I should elevate slowly and do this or arrive at a goal. And even if I don't get to where I'm going, along the way, I'm going to have something better. That's how I feel. I just think that, it's a generation of kids that want it before they earn it. And that's hard. Mm-hmm. Very hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. That's just sort of like, when you look at the transfer portal, now if it's something outrageous and you want to transfer, because I transferred from San Diego State to Long Beach, but I had to sit out a year. I just think it's something that people got to realize that sometimes it's like when we go overseas. I hated overseas so much my first year, but once I got through my second and my third, I loved it. It's about sticking with a commitment, because when you're young, you can't, life doesn't work like that no more. And like what you said on the breakdowns that we're having mentally in terms of people, when they don't like something, they don't stick with it, don't give it. They want instant gratification versus, oh, well, maybe I need to hang in there for another week, or let me see how it goes another year, and not transfer just because, I ain't starting.
Right.
Taking a look at yourself is something I'm not doing. Everything now I think is projected outward versus we were taught before you lash outward, look at yourself.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm
but
saying?
Even the challenges of being a part of a team and not being a starter early, when you get there, you arrive as some high school All-American. Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to be a starter in college. There's a junior or senior that's been working their tail off, knows the system, put in the work, probably deserve that. And you think that coach recruiting you is going to tell you that?
Right.
And that's why I say Connecticut players, I'm just going to use them as an example, because Gino is, pretty tough. That Gino be telling it like it is. If you're you scrubbing, or, but all
that might be a little much.
All that translates to the next level, where at the WNBA, all his players got titles. They be strong-willed, they be coachable.
That's true.
I've seen Cheryl say some crazy stuff to Maya Moore. But you know what? Maya Moore didn't go, hey, I'm Maya Moore. I'm the stuff. I'm the one with the ring. She took it and took what the message was without giving any back talk and putting it on herself that I got to go get better. Not the coach sucks, the GM sucks, this and that. And that's probably why she competed for 8 titles. You know what I'm saying? That's why she competed for 8 titles, because she lived on that level. And I can tell you as a GM, I've seen players. Well, here it is right here in the proof. What first round draft choice is starting on any WNBA team right now? Not one. Kalia's been on the bench for Dallas. She started the first couple of games, and now she's been on the bench and she's not even playing some games. Wow. But a lot of people are criticizing her, but I don't criticize her. And she gave a great article about a week ago, I think in the Atlantic, it was, where she said this is just going to motivate her and make her better. And I was happy to see that she didn't try to blame it on this, blame it on that, because it's not her fault. The players in the WNBA are that good.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know.
But at the next level, everybody's good.
But what a lot of people don't know is about women's basketball players are that we get better as we go. You're not going to come out and knock the Lisa Leslie. I'm going back to old school. You're not going to knock Asia Wilson and all those, Stewart and all them off the block when you get there. You're just not going to do that. That's not really what we do in women's basketball. We keep getting better and better. Even I did that. I went overseas and my potential just went skyrocket to the top. I didn't believe myself, because your body is getting stronger the longer you play. We don't break down like the guys. The guys might go in, but on most occasions they'll come down. We'll go up. So give her time.
Yeah. And I was just happy that, when you're a person that goes number one, I was like, as soon as I saw the article, what it was about, I said, let me read it. And I was so happy that she was honest with herself and took accountability for that she needed to get better. And I'm going to tell you something, not too many people going to do that. So I already know this young lady's going to get better as time goes on.
So let's talk. So we're talking about players. What about style of play? That's what this question is from Erica Mitchell. You say what? What do you see that is a major difference in style of play in women's basketball as opposed to when you played? I think we kind of asked this question last week too.
For me, I think the style of play we play is actually kind of coming back. It's like Ray and those girls are starting to all out. I mean, their skill level, their one-on-one abilities right now so sharp. I'm shocked myself. I'm like, I am actually loving the game, loving watching women's basketball again. And for me, that's been a long journey because for a while it was like 10 minutes. You're like, oh my God, I got to support women's basketball. Let me keep it on. But I'm not really watching it. So right now, if I see a player out there balling, I'm actually liking this new skill level. And it's just recent that to me that it's actually turned the corner to be a lot of athleticism, a lot of let her show her skill level, let her play, or the ball is moving. That's not a lot of walking the ball up the floor these days. They're really pushing the flow of the game. They're getting into it. Some teams actually do have a little, standing around but one-on-one stuff, but most of them are moving the ball like women's basketball players do. I love it.
Teresa, you've done, holy smokes, so much in the game, for the game. There's a couple of questions. One of them actually from Alpha Alexander had talked about you carrying the flag. Can you talk about that moment for the Olympics? Was that the 80? What year was that?
Well, actually, I never carried the flag. I carried the flag for the Pan American Games down in Mexico one time. I can remember I did do that, but I never carried it for the Olympic
Pan American.
We recited the athlete's oath in 1996, which was huge.
I thought she carried the flag too one year.
So that was the Pan American game?
I was at the Pan American Games when I did that. Yeah.
Okay. I would have been like, I carried it in the Olympics. I can't remember. That's why I don't go anywhere. I was like, I did that. Yeah, sure did.
That'll catch you. That Google is too real these days.
That's right. That integrity is everything. So that, and then also.
Oh, go ahead, Vera.
No, you can go ahead.
I was about to ask Teresa, who's the best player you ever played against?
Yeah, that question.
That question comes up.
America.
American or foreign?
Whoever. Just the number one best player you ever played against.
Well, the number one best player I ever played against was Hortensia.
Yes, we said that too. And people do not know her.
Let me tell you something. You don't guard Hortensia. You can't guard her. She's like LaTonya Pollard, man. They come across half court and cacao is gone. Like, you got to guard him full court. She's too quick. You can't guard her full court because she was so quick. She could get by.
Educate us. Hortensia played where?
Hortensia is an international player from Brazil, the best player in the world.
Okay.
They talk about Magic Paula a lot. Hortensia came before Paula. And she came at a time where she didn't have no crew. She didn't have anyone to ditch it off to. She would make moves, get you a pass, bam, it's out of bounds on those girls because they're not ready for it, right? The level of play her teammates were, it just wasn't there when she was young. As she got older, Magic Paula came, they mixed it together. That's when we had in 96 in Atlanta. They played together, but Hortensia was quite old and had a baby at that time. So she was a little different and I was still scared of the woman. But she's a bad girl. Like, you really don't guard her. You just hope she has an average game, period. She was amazing. I hate everybody missed this lady because she scored 30, 40 points like it was nothing. Every game. You never had an off game.
Swag for days. And had swag for days.
Yeah. The swag that's what made you want to beat her ass, but excuse me.
You can say that. We stayed right on script.
That's what made you really want to play.
So that's why I bring in Rita and be like, she said, also being part of the first Title IX generation and be included in a conversation with names like Billie Jean, Martina, and other female athletes who changed their sports. I mean, for us, you're more than a legend, you're a pioneer. Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's a legacy. It's hard to wrap myself around it, truly. Those type of comments are being in a class with people like that who are still doing great things. They're doing such great things in tennis, which I wish I could do those greater things like that in basketball. I still wish that. I think there's a lot of room for growth in women's basketball. There's a lot of more money to be made for young ladies out there in our game. There's so much growth. So for me, I lose sleep at night even now trying to figure out where I am. How can I have even more impact on the game, on the players that are leaving the game now, because that's where we are. What more can we do for ourselves as well as to impact young ladies coming behind us after their career? So when you mention my name with a group of ladies like that, it's like, man, I got so much work to do. That's how I feel.
Here's a question here. What point in your career did you get your aha moment? Since you're talking about your impact on the game and giving back, have you had that aha moment in terms of your leadership and your commitment?
Not really. I think I'm still aiming for it. You know, I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. You know, I know how Oprah used it. I watch Super Soul Sundays, and I love her. But you know, I'm not seeking the aha. I'm seeking the long journey of, you know, I don't know. I'm just not one of those people that says, you know, when you die, what you want people to think. No, I want you to tell me now while I'm living. So I want to get it done. You know. You know, so it's like, I think when you have those kind of moments, and it's different for everybody, but I'm talking for myself. If I had a moment like that, I'm supposed to go rest. So like we were talking earlier, I would love that house on the lake. Nobody can find me unless I want to be found. But, you know, but for some reason, it seems like there's a lot of work to be done. So I'm not thinking the aha moment. I'm just trying to, I don't think I can ever stop with the type of person I am. I'm always going to think of what's next. What's next?
Mm-hmm. I think you have a purpose-driven life. That's why. So we all do, you know.
Yeah.
And I think too, as an athlete, it was funny because I was telling somebody just the other day. It's funny because even when you stop playing, a lot of athletes, especially that played at the level that you played at, the level that we all have played at, it is all about what's next for us, because it's that high, and we're going to get that high. We learned. After you transition out of sports, it's just like when people ask me about the gym, Penny, you miss playing? No, because I get a high every day.
Right.
Together. And it's just like, if you're a teacher, like you're teaching young kids now, it's that high. What's next? What's next? What's next?
Right.
And that's because that's why you were a high achiever, because we don't stop. You know, great athletes don't become satisfied. We don't sit down and be like, okay, we've done everything. Because just like you said in your own words, what's next? There's always a next. And keep going to ground, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than you, the other name we hear about a lot on this show is Cheryl Miller.
Oh yeah.
Talk about her. How was it playing with Cheryl?
Cheryl is Lady Legacy. She carried this game for us for so many years on just by herself, man. I mean, my hat goes off to her all the time. I pay homage to my girl. We're the same age. I wanted to beat her, but every time I was on the floor with her, I had against her. All my entire college career, all we heard was Cheryl Miller to represent all of women's basketball. That will drive you nuts. Because we were balling. I mean, we had a lot of ballers out there that was balling, but Cheryl Miller had to be everything for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I would always walk around to my teammates going, you know, if I could just meet her in the street and play a one-on-one, nobody don't have to know. I just got to know for myself that she can't be everything for us, right? But all in all, Cheryl Miller was a baller. Sheer talent. She was willing to sacrifice her body for a stupid ball on every occasion. She could go get you a basket, score anywhere, inside, outside, drive. And I always have to give credit to where credit is due, though. Without Pam and Paula, though, she's not the same Cheryl Miller. You know, she had Hoop and she had Rhonda. You know, she had a great supporting cast. So I got to give credit to those young ladies as well, especially Pam and Paula. They were a dynamic duo inside the
I mean, scary big.
Right? I mean, so without that, Cheryl has to get, let truth be told, those women carried her too. So, but she was all that, and in one game in the street with me by herself, being down there.
This question intrigues me. What do you feel about and Penny? I want to know from you too. An old school women's all-star game, like the retired men used to do. And I'm going to take this to another level. This question. You get to pick 5 players to roll with you. Penny, you get to pick 5 to roll with you on this all-star team. And Teresa, you get to pick 5 to roll with you on this all-star team. Who you taking?
Let's do it. Go, Penny.
Let's do it. Go, Penny.
Okay, well, obviously, I'm bringing Teresa first. Let's bring her.
All right, go. Come on,
Penny. Go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait. Who you take? One at a time. Now, who you got?
Oh, we going back and forth?
Back and
like
forth.
you did in the
Okay,
playground.
Okay, I got Teresa.
Who? Lisa.
You, Teresa Edwards.
Me?
I'm picking you on my team.
Yo, I love you too, woman. You can't take me.
Yes, I can.
No.
You can't take you. You
Don't mess
can't
with the
take
GM.
you. You can't take you. He said go with
He
you.
makes the rule.
It doesn't make no
Go
sense.
with you.
Vera, will you fix this, please?
He said go with you. I'm telling
That's
you.
why Penny.
Penny?
That's why Penny got 3.
I was
Thank
going
you.
to take
3
it.
rings.
WNBA title. But
I
she
know
makes
who
me
to
like,
pick.
no. Don't tell me who I
know
can't
who
pick.
to pick.
You just
I'm gonna get who I want.
don't
You
play.
can't pick you. I can pick you.
You don't play fair, Penny.
All right, so she picked you. Who you got, Teresa?
I gotta go with my girl Katrina McClain.
Katrina
Oh,
McClain. All right,
Gotta go
good.
with Katrina.
Cheryl Miller.
Oh,
That's pretty good. Pretty good. I know. You got Miller. Who I'm gonna make a guard?
Are we picking this? Can we pick the same players or no?
nope.
Nope.
Oh.
We playing
Okay,
against
We went
each other.
playground. We went playground with it, so you
I
can't
got
pick it.
Teresa and Cheryl. Okay.
I'm gonna take Dawn next.
Hey,
Okay. You
That's
gonna
a good
take
one.
Dawn?
Yeah.
And here's a player that people won't remember, but you will, Teresa. And I'm gonna take her in her prime, Tina Hutchinson.
ooh.
Tina Hutchinson.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, you take 10. Dang, that was good, Penny.
Hold on, and people don't even now. How good was this player, Teresa?
She was before her time. We always say
Way before her time.
she was before her time. We always say that when her name comes up. Doesn't matter where you are. You can be eating pizza or having a drink. When her name comes up, whoa. Everybody goes whoa. Yeah. That's a good one. All right, so I'm still sticking with the '96 group here. I got to go back with Lisa now.
Okay,
Lisa
you got
Leslie?
Lisa?
Yep.
Okay.
Now you already know I gotta roll with the 49. I gotta ain't
Who you
nobody
rolling with?
I'll shoot this player. You know I'm coming with Latanya Pollard.
Oh shoot, man!
Okay.
I ain't mad
Latanya
at you.
Pollard.
I ain't mad at you for that. That's good shooting right there. God dang. All right, I'm probably shooting the most, me and Dawn anyway on the perimeter, but I need me one more out there. I ain't messing with Coop. She too selfish.
Oh my God, we should have had Coop on here. This
Hey,
We
was
should have had Coop on here.
Me and Coop be fighting, and we on the same team.
Fighting for the ball.
You know who I would take? I'm taking George Walker.
Oh, you take
Joyce
it.
Walker.
And how many
LSU, George Walker. You don't remember George Walker, Penny? LSU.
Yeah, that's what I said. How many we done picked so far?
All right,
5.
so
She
you
got
got
5.
Teresa Edwards, Cheryl Miller, Tina Hutchinson, Latanya Pollard, and you got one more.
Okay.
You got a poll.
Now,
Well, you got
see,
Cheryl. Who you got?
I'm a little I guess I'm torn because if I'm just picking a team and they ain't got to get on the court, then I'm gonna take Janice Lawrence. But since I may need a point guard, let me go ahead and get Teresa Weatherspoon now.
All right,
Okay, you get T. Woo! Thank God you didn't get Jay Lawrence. That girl.
No, because like I said, if I'm just picking,
I got Janice Lawrence. I'm going with Jay, and then I'm gonna pull Annette Woodard up, and then we rolling now. I don't even need no more subs. I'm done.
All right.
well,
All right. Janice Lawrence.
You don't get to.
I'm on the team. I'm on the team.
You on my team.
Teresa Edwards is the only one that made both teams.
Check this out. We still not talking about Lisa Ingram.
Yeah, remember.
Way before Grandmama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If television had been on,
Oh,
people would
man.
have saw that. No, Lisa Leslie, as great as she isn't the first poster shot jump shot. Lisa Ingram, Janice Lawrence. Her kiss off the backboard. Was
Jay Lawrence, bad.
And then Katrina McClain was in a class by herself. You know what I'm saying? And people, because television came at the right time for these players that we're talking about. And that's why when people be like, oh, who's better, old basketball, new basketball, they forget these older players, they've been doing what these players been doing for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Gotta thank
I love to see that team.
Sam Clark. That was good. That was good. Playground rules. I like that. Except Penny Toler is always leave it to this GM to figure out how to recruit.
I know, messing with my head.
She got her team.
I don't even know how you do that. Only Penny Toler can do that.
Yeah.
Back in the 1992 Barcelona. So we just came off of this Olympic season. Everybody, we know that we've been a dynasty in women's basketball. You want to talk about something to be proud of when it comes to the Olympics. You know that women's basketball is going in, and kudos to Dawn Staley again to keeping cold strong. But we got one little blemish, and it was in 1992.
Yeah,
we went home with that bronze instead of the gold. The question is, what happened?
OST was here. We were on that team together. A lot of things happened, and that's what Black Gold is all about, actually. Black Gold speaks a lot about Barcelona. You got to check it out. You got to go on, Audible, Amazon, Audible.com. Really check it out. That's where this entire story, a life story of mine, kind of originate through that pain of playing in losing those Olympic Games. But what happened was a lot. Let me simplify it for you. It wasn't that we were arrogant, but although we were definitely paying taxes and playing ball overseas, and life was changing very fast for us as women players, that just wasn't the case. It was probably more so taking it for granted. We won back-to-back gold, 84 and 88. We gotten into this little cycle of blowing teams out. And so once we got to Barcelona, besides losing a little sight on the dream team, that was a big change in the game, change in the world when the men's dream team was there as well. So nobody really was looking at us, and so we thought. Right. But that Russian team was, and that really was the only game that we lost. We just slipped up and played a really bad game at the wrong time against the wrong team. Came out short. It really did, but we were blowing everyone out every game, over 20 points a game in Barcelona. I really think we just got we got lax. We thought it was going to be easy. We were playing to a tune of actually subbing 5 in and 5 out during an Olympic tournament. It was something you really don't do. But that's how much for granted we actually took those games, and it slipped us. It got us. It really bit us.
Right.
So for those of you that didn't catch on, she's too humble and subliminal. Let's pump this thing up.
Yes.
Teresa Edwards has a best-selling book out. It's called Black Gold. We like Black Gold, clearly. Unscripted.
Me too.
Go get it. Support it.
I don't have that certified.
Come back. That's right. Here we go. Go and get it. And you said it's available on Audible, right?
Yes, it's on audible.com. It's in my voice. It's 2.5 hours. And it really chronicles chronicle my story through those games.
I love it.
I had an experience that I really didn't share with anyone, and I saved it for the right time. And this was the right time to actually tell that story. It was one of the toughest Olympics I've ever played.
Wow. Wow. And we don't even get a tease here. We have to actually go get the book.
No, I'm just trying to
everybody go get the book.
Prompt it up. Prompt it.
Everyone who asks
now we go. Boy, sales going through the roof tonight.
What
is she talking about? What happened at the Olympics?
You gotta get it. Yeah.
That's a great tease.
Teresa, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What made you so focused? Because one thing I always know about you is when you get on the court, you always was like very focused on the task at hand, And the thing that I always liked about you were you were always humble. At least that's how you came across to me. But you were deadly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What made you so focused?
I think my humble beginnings kept me quite focused, to be honest with you, Penny. I had nothing to do but learn how to win. When I was a kid, if I didn't win, I was so upset. So my goal became to figure out how to beat you one at a time, how to beat this person, how to beat that guy, how to beat this next guy and that person. And I think just by a simple kid, most competitive, that created a focus in me. And then winning became kind of addictive. I didn't like to lose.
Yeah.
That competitive desire, it just kept welling up inside of me. And all of a sudden, my greatest joy in the world was to go play ball and figure out how to win.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to do it again. So I was never easily distracted by much of nothing. That's why you saw what you saw. I was never distracted. You can't easily tell me, hey, look, we're going to go do this, or we're going to hang out. I'm going to bed. I'm going to get up tomorrow. I can't wait to go back to the gym. I was that kid. I really was a little square, and I wasn't trying to be humble. I was just a little country girl, happy to play basketball for a very long time and loved it. It was just the joy of my life, to be honest with you.
So let me ask you this. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's actually true that you put your gold medal up for sale to kind of see what the market would do in relationship to a male's memorabilia versus a women's memorabilia. So is that an absolutely true situation that you?
That is a true situation, because I got tired of seeing it. I got tired of watching. I'm like, I'm gonna see how real. And these guys I was working with was like, well, we don't know, but we think it'll work. You know, we already have people that are interested, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, okay, let's try it. And I'm not attached to those things. Let me just make it very clear. I'm not very attached to material things like that. I should be. Maybe everybody else out there in the world would be going crazy about something like that. I have not lost a lick of sleep over this. Perhaps if I get bored and I win the lottery, I'll go win it. I'll go buy it back. Who cares? And if I do, I'm going to buy it back at an astronomical number so that we can get up there, because that really was something. That is something that I think is so unfair to see. Little cards signed by the guy players going for prices that like over the roof. And maybe there needs to be a female organization that really gets into this auction thing for women. I don't know. But I really think there's not enough really women with money that truly are interested in articles like that. So I don't know. To me, there's still more room for growth in women's sports as a whole when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I did it with no qualms about it.
Yeah. What'd you get for it?
I just do remember. I think it went over 50, but that was nothing. That's nothing.
Right.
That's nothing.
Exactly.
You know.
And now, guess what, though? That's what you probably got for it. But now with the league and all this stuff, I guarantee it will probably go.
If it does, that's my goal. If it does, then that's good.
I have a suggestion.
I guarantee it will.
I have a suggestion. Allow me to have it. If you're not into material things, allow me to possess that one of your gold medals. I will place it on the market, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
You have to guarantee a certain price, because we got to push it. But there's a lot of greatness. There's a lot of greatness behind me, so I'm not worried about it. Hopefully, that their stock will continue to push things up in the game. So,
and it will, because it's a rarity to have a 5 Olympian. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to have 4 gold medals, and as the world turns, it's going to be talked about.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I hope to be 100, where I know my signature for scoring that first basket in WNBA. And then I'm just going to pick up a piece of paper, there you go, with money, and sign my name and be like, hey, it's for sale. You know, but it's that rarity. With that 4, that's what I mean. With the 5, you have like Diana and Sue and what's the
but there's like let's see what happens if mine. You know, they'll probably go right around me. I'm joking. I don't know what's going on, but I really do.
Swimmers, you know, look at even Alex Felix, who looked amazing at the Met Gala. I watched those type of things. She looked amazing. You know, my girl J-Lo still took #1 though. But okay, that's enough about the Met Gala. But as the world goes on and on and on, it's going to be very valuable. You sold it at 50.
I hope so. I really do.
We'll probably get a couple $100,000 for it. Yeah,
I hope so. I would like to go. I would like to see things like that go to millions. I mean, why not? Like, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
So one of the other questions that comes up a lot also is just how good you would have been had you been in the WNBA in your prime and everything else. But there are many people like this question here to say you were already, you know, even at 38, you were still balling. Looking back, how do you think you played? What made you, would you have stayed longer? Why did you leave? Help us out.
What made me play was really a phone call with Susie McConnell. I was probably going to head back overseas, just, you know, milk it for what it was worth. But Susie called and she's like, you know, I just, you know, need help, blah, blah, blah. Let's just do it. We'll just write your name in. She talked about writing my name in, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool, go ahead. That guarantees me I'll be right there. And it's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made, though, because the league did try to get me to play sooner. I was just very, very stubborn. But I really didn't like the numbers. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like the numbers. I played for more money. I'd play for more money in the ABL. I'd play for more money overseas. And I was still getting offered less. So I was like, oh, this doesn't seem right. So I turned it down. And then I'm getting lost in the years. A couple of years went by and Susie made that call to me. And I was like, why not? I'm bored. I'm not doing anything. So I just did it. And I remember speaking to Coachlanders, and he was like, well, it's the only thing you haven't done. And he was right. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's the only thing I haven't done. I need to experience that. So I went. That's how I did it. The only thing I wasn't used to was I'd never played with a women's size basketball.
Oh, really?
It was the first time that I'd ever shot with a women's size basketball. So I really didn't get enough time to get adapted to that. Never. Overseas was a men's size, the regular college size that we played with in college and all that. So it was kind of tough. So I didn't mind dishing dimes left and right to those young kids. I was like, oh, well, might as well let them put it up because they're used to it. But I can only feel it every now and then when the team got kind of desperate when I really needed to put up shots and stuff. The stats were behind me. I was like, this is not about an all-star show for me. It's about really an experience of, wearing a WNBA uniform, being out here, being a part of this. And I actually enjoyed it. It was a really good experience there in Minnesota.
One of the questions that's popping up from several people here, so I won't even pop it on the screen, is just who's your GOAT? And who are the top 5 or however many players that you played with, you specifically played with, as opposed to just picking freely? But who's your GOAT? Someone said, is it Cynthia Cooper? Is it Diana? Who's the WNBA GOAT? She's like, no. Someone else is asking, is it?
Hell no.
Someone else is asking, is it Michael Jordan?
Watching this show.
I would be my own GOAT. I would be my own GOAT. But
she's our own GOAT.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest with you, I'm not gonna put anyone ahead of me. I mean, you really got to prove that. But at the same time, I'm gonna be my GOAT now. I'm not gonna be your GOAT. I'm not gonna be whoever those people are choosing a GOAT. I'm not trying to get people to vote for me. No, that's not it. But honestly, I don't believe in a GOAT.
Neither does Spoon. Yeah.
No, I don't. It's just too many different genres of players. Too many, different levels of plays. The person that can truly take over a game anytime they want to and just can't do nothing about it, that's a GOAT, right? Thank you. They can play on both ends of the floor. You ain't going to score on me either. So it's a pride factor. If you want to name that, whoever created that word GOAT, I mean, I don't care about being anyone's GOAT, to be honest with you. I'm just a competitor. We lace it on, we go out there, we do it, and then we shake it up and we do it again tomorrow. That's how we play. It's no hard feelings. What we did, and we'll do it all over again every day in and day out. Those are the ladies that I want to play with. Hey, T, you took me today, but I'm gonna show you tomorrow. Like, that's what we do. That's what we did, and that's the joy of what we were blessed to do. And that's why I have passion for the game. That's why Penny can see what she sees in me, because I can get pumped up just talking about it, because I want to play against the Pennies. I want to play against the teaspoons. I want to play against the Coops and all. I can't wait to do it again.
See, and this is what I know everybody out there don't even notice. And coming from DC, from hearing you talk about who's the GOAT is what I can get down with. And when I say get down with it is when you grow up with the mentality that you got, and like it from DC, like you say, I'm the GOAT. Like what you said about yourself. What I'm saying? And that's how you know the killer. Or that's why it's rare, like the players in the past on the men and women, where we find a little strange that we friends and all, but when it comes time to compete, no, I ain't eating with you like lunchtime. No, I ain't. No,
I'm walking right by you, just like this, right by you.
We ain't going to dinner
after the game. We'll be like, you gonna get something to eat? But not before the game.
That's what I'm saying. I see players now sitting together and hanging out. Look, you got a game in a couple hours. Now I'm coming to whoop. You know what?
It wasn't personal. It wasn't.
Exactly. I'll see you afterwards, but in a minute we got to go play this pride game.
That's right.
I like this question here. We always ask advice of what young players should do. What is one thing you tell them not to do?
Oh, wow. I'll tell you, it's a lot. Jesus.
You can start with don't read your own press. We'll start there. And then I'll let you take it serious. I'll let you take it from there.
You said don't read your own press? I love it.
You get so many players that are looking, man, look at this or look at that or TikTok or knick-knock or whatever they're doing. But that's why I be like sometimes, hey, forget about TikTok. Come show me what you got. You know what I'm saying?
What really bothers me today, and what I try to tell them, is stop trying to imitate someone else. Okay? Stop trying to be LeBron. Stop trying to be Lisa. Stop trying to be me. Anyone. Don't be your best you. Like, you have to figure out who you are, what you're bringing to the table. Stop trying to be like, as to Penny, what she's saying. Stop spending so much time. Oh, look at that, and doing all that mess about everybody else, man. And create your own. Like, stop it. Like, how do you reach your pinnacle of success? By not diving within yourself so deep. You have to have the ability to go within yourself so deep in order to pull out your greatest self that you can't give other people that much energy. And these kids give everything more energy than they give themselves.
Exactly. That's so true.
All right, this one just keeps coming back and back. They want to know. Top 5 players you've ever played with.
Oh, I like that one. Cheryl, Tree. Janet Harris was a beast, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Janet Harris in Georgia was.
Oh, yeah, Janet
Harris.
Harris.
Forgot about her.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Janet could play really 1 through 5 from Chicago, no joke. And Janet could. Janet Harris, Cheryl, Tree. I got all those big people out there. One of the best guards I ever played with. I mean, Dawn and I played, but we didn't get to play together on the floor a lot. And I love her energy. I love people I can close my eyes and do things and they're gonna be there. Like, they know the game so well. You know? So as I got older, and that's one of the reasons why I knew I had to stop playing. I could do that, but with these young kids, your ball was going out of bounds because they don't know what they're doing. They weren't thinking the game the same. My generation, we really had high IQs of where to be. If there was a gap, no one had to tell you to go back door. If you went back door and somebody didn't pass you that ball, they were in trouble, right? So it's just a different dynamic. So Cheryl, Tree, Janet Harris, got to give it to her.
Okay.
And there's so many, Lord have mercy. There's Janice Lawrence.
Did you play with Medina Dixon?
Oh, Medina
Dixon. We got somebody.
I put Medina in my book. Yeah. Shoot, yeah.
Okay.
She needs to be on one of our teams, too.
Yeah, Medina, man, she can talk smack and beat you. That's what made you mad about Medina. She would talk smack in your face and cacao. Boom. Yeah, Medina Dixon. Yeah, so many, y'all. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that question comes up every show. It's like, who's your top 5 this, your top 5 that? And yeah, we could go on and on all day about it. You once said girls need women as role models. Who was your inspiration or role model?
Well, I'd only had my mother, honestly speaking. I still have my mother, thank you, God. As a basketball player, when I was growing up, there wasn't the visibility you see today. We didn't have, of course. So there wasn't any women to model your game after. So I didn't have any. I was a Dr. J to until Michael came along. I was a Julius Erving girl. So unfortunately, there was no female basketball player to model myself after.
So you became your own GOAT. Talk to Magic Paula and Hortensia Macari.
So what now? Talk Magic Paula and Hortensia? Bad girls, man. They bad to the bone. They put it on us. They would probably win all the battles, but they never won the war. That's how I talk about those two. Those girls were fast. They were IQs off the chart. Shots, Wazooka. Magic Paula loved making you look silly. Hortensia just wanted to kill you. Quick shooters. Just everything for Brazil. Mad respect on my end for both of them.
So when you watched the Olympics, and every time you watch the Olympics, do you get the warm fuzzies? Do you get the flashbacks? What are you experiencing when you go back and watch the Olympics?
No, I get that big sister mama thing going, like, y'all better not do this name. That's how I don't get none of that. I know what they're feeling. I know what it's like. I finally got to a point where I can truly watch it. Now it's more like an expectation thing. Like, y'all, I'm like sitting here going, y'all know better. Like, come on. Like that. That's how I watch it when I watch the national team, because we're so much better than everybody. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's the big sister thing.
Last question before we wrap it up tonight. We have kind of been all over the place. I warned you we'd be all over the place.
Yeah.
I teach my players to love the game and study the game, watching. And that actually was not the question I was going for. It was this one. What are your thoughts on politics in sports? We're going to bring it back to
that's a great one.
everything that we've been experiencing, particularly over COVID and, Breonna Taylor and Take a Knee and everything else. How do you feel? Do athletes have a calling to speak on some of these things? Should they mix? Should politics mix into sports? Why or why not?
I think everything is mixing into everything these days. What's happening is social media has created other platforms for everybody. Anyone can mix in politics anytime they want to, given social media. We can put anything. Athletes can make mistakes and everybody's going to chime in on it. Or we can get to the podium, they're going to chime on it. Everyone has an opinion, right? So if the average person can sit at home and have an opinion on politics, if we pay taxes, we have kids, we have family, we have elders, we have everything everybody else has. So we have a voice and we have to use it. And a lot of people have died so that we can use it. So we owe them that. So that's how I personally feel about politics. You choose as you might. Do we have a voice? Yes, we have a platform. We have to use it. And if we have any power to make a difference, then that's what we were born to do, over making the next basket. So it's the lives that are going to come behind us. It's not the next one that's going to win the next championship that we should be worried about. So you got to use it for what it's worth.
So last thing, I said that was the last thing, but I'm going to throw this out here and Penny will appreciate this and so will Rita. Spoon is not here.
Yeah, she had practice.
Tell us about Spoon.
Practice.
New Orleans.
Practice. You tell Spoon I said practice.
I ain't here to practice like
Iverson. We're talking about practice.
I've seen Spoon light this thing up in the car. Here she go. Hey, her and Ruthie. I played with both of them. I'm done with both of them. Y'all tell them I'm done.
Okay, right. That's right.
Y'all see, I got my popcorn out there because I say we got a special guest. So I'm eating my popcorn just like that. I'm soaking it all up. Okay? I think I done drank more.
Thank you, Penny. I owe you. But you're a real legend. You're a real professional. You're a real legend.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Teresa, it's been great having you. I mean, this is I know that all of our viewers and listeners, they've been asking for you. Rita, great job going and hunting her down and
tracking. One phone call. That's all.
One phone call. She's like, yeah, I'm there. Right. Yeah. Rita must have had the groupie thing or something. I'm like, why you didn't call her yet?
Stop it.
Really appreciate it.
You're a mess, right?
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Vera, and definitely respect to you, Penny. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you've always been one of my favorite girls, and I'm not gonna let you go without saying it. It's truly like what Vera's saying, and I'm not saying it's on the show. It's been an honor, and it's always good to see you. You know what I'm saying? It's been years, but every time I see you, it feels like, oh, there goes my girl Teresa, you know. And this has been like awesome, and you're welcome back on the show anytime. Anytime. Back in, just chime back in.
Thank you. I'll chime in with some questions next time.
All right.
Thank you so much.
When it comes to women's hoops, we're not new to this. We're true to this. We are certified unscripted. Until next week, everybody, please tell a friend to tell a friend and make sure you check us out on the website, certifiedunscripted.com. I'm Vera Jones. That's Rita. That's Penny. And that is the legendary Teresa Edwards. It's been a great show. Thanks for having us. Till the next time. Peace.